Welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. It's time to talk to Dr. Klein.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
I've recovered all the technological information.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections.
Thanks.
Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Do these technologies have the information you need?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Your answer isn't filling me with confidence.
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Do you even know what these technologies do?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes. So let me... a bit. I'll figure it out.
Okay, we've got some checks. Let's go for the highest one. Repair 75. The antenna, any chance it was damaged or broke the X2 array once removed?
So you're saying it's the X2 array, not the antenna I should be examining. That was most likely my plan, yes. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics.
Of course.
Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains.
Yeah, I know about them.
It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Alright, Science 85. Don't these items seem more biologically focused than that, though? Huh?
Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression.
Science!
The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science.
Science!
Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror.
I'm feeling good about this.
You can go now. That's your cue.
Alright then. Let's go and do that thing what he said we should do. Dum-ta-dum-ta-dum. Ta-dum-ta-dum-ta-dum. Down we go. Through the door. Oh! Yeah, I saw you guys pop in. Let's go at them with this. Oh my goodness. Oh. Let's do some circle strafing.
Oh, hit my Roboscorpion, will you?
Oh, back off.
Hit my... You're no match for science.
Are you dead yet? You're not dead yet. Well, you're dead. You're running away. I'll let you go. Was there any more bits? Oh, he ran off. He ran off as well. Yep. Still running. Oh, you lot. You lot are silly. Can I fast travel? I'd better be able to fast travel. I don't want to not be able to fast travel. To the Forbidden Zone. Enemies nearby. Okay, looks like we have to polish off these wusses. Right, you. Sorted. You. Is that him? Sorted. Now we can fast travel. Wonder what we'll find when we get there, though. Yep. Okay. Fast travelled in right on top of them.
Prepare to be attacked by Dr. Mobius. I see you.
Oh my goodness.
Now I end you. I see you. Now I end
Okay.
you. Won't escape me.
This is... I might wish I'd zoomed in from slightly more of a distance. Okay, let's
For science.
do this. There we go. Okay, I'm taking a bit of damage. I'd like to heal. Take a thin red paste, and I think also maybe one of these blood sausage. And let's switch back to the inversal axe, seeing as they're right here. Plonk. Oops. It's a bit closer than I wanted to be there. Alright, let's pick up all your scrap guys. And you, yeah, you're going to get dealt with the pulse gun, I think. It's one shot. And there's the second. Is that everybody? That was quite the confrontation. Stealth boys in there as well. Cool. Okay. Quick save, I think. We're healed up. I'm wearing stuff. Let's reload and let's go in.
Attention visitors.
Oh.
Combat experiment in progress.
Oh.
Please put on your goggles and take your rest.
Oh my.
The X-42 giant robot you'll never disable me from
Oh my.
initiate your search and destroy protocol in the name
Can I do this? Is this working? Is this a strategy? I'm not sure. This isn't much of a strategy, is it? Look at all that radiation. Look at my state of health. It was... I wonder if he's got anything to loot. No. I'm not sure if that was the way that I was supposed to do that bit, but it kind of worked, didn't it? What it lacked for in delicacy, it made up for in efficacy. Some logs. Roboscorpion test log. Assassinite armor. Sonic emitter, managed to fry it. EMP shielding. Well, that's basically how I got through it, wasn't it? Target drone effectiveness. Largely ineffective, those guys. Right, okay. So yeah, my strategy of just running around and pummeling that huge Roboscorpion with round after round from the pulse gun. It's, I don't know. I mean, as a viewer, do you feel a bit let down? Do you feel that I should have done it sort of in a slightly more elegant and thought out fashion? Security turret. Yeah, I mean, presumably I'm supposed to use those security turrets to help me out. But, you know, I just stood there and tanked it really, didn't I? Which ain't bad considering I'm only wearing light armour. No, not quite so far. We're in. Pulse grenades, yeah, see I could have used them as well. That would have been clever. Turret control system, yep, see? That's what I'm supposed to do. I was supposed to go up here. I didn't. I was just... shoot, shoot, shoot. Now I'm running around, picking up all the things. I want to get in there. Right. I have to go down. What was in here? What was in here that I was supposed to use to help me? Emergency shutdown terminal. Yeah, see that would have been it. That's the right way to solve this, isn't it? I was supposed to make my way in here and use my great science abilities to shut down the Roboscorpion. You see, that would have been how someone with a brain would have done it. But not me, though. Oh, no. Paint gun? No, I did not want the paint gun. Oh, dear. Oh, audio sample. Mobius is Roboscorpion. Fun key. Take to the jukebox to recalibrate. I might do that. I might do that some other time. Right now I'm a bit busy. What's in this little room here? An LAER. Some more ammo. What's over in this side of the room? I'm just feeling a bit thorough, you know. Ah, protectrons. Yes. So yes, again, I suppose I could have roped them in to fight my side in the battle. But I didn't. I instead chose to do it in my own idiosyncratic way. Something crackling away there. This would have been a power regulation terminal. Backup generator log. The new atomic laser is putting an incredible strain on the giant Roboscorpion's generator. If you ask me, the systems weren't designed to handle the power from two systems at once, and if some rookie tech fires up the backup generator too early, yep, that would have been another way of dealing with it. Fire up the backup generator. That's how you'd fight this Roboscorpion if you weren't just some brainless, trigger-happy moron. Sadly I am. Right, anyway, there's an arrow pointing me over here. That's where I'm going to go. Let's see how this quick save here. So I'm not sure whether there's going to be a battle waiting for me on the other side here or not, which is why I'm not wasting a healing item. Well, this looks a lot like the place where the Dr. Klein and his buddies live. Here's Mobius. Alright, Mobster.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Okay, this guy's clearly crazy. I don't think it's necessary to kill him. I think I can... Yeah, I know with the Roboscorpion, the giant Roboscorpion, I was a bit of a klutz, but let's try and handle Mobius with a bit more tact.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty.
Smarty.
I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Oh, that's so sad. Surrender, Mobius. I don't want to fight you.
Oh, well, that's good. Were we supposed to fight? I certainly don't feel violent, but, well, these contraptions make it hard to tell.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it.
He's got a point.
And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Okay, time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
So it looks like I'm gonna go and talk to my brain. What's up in the trunk? Oh, Dr. Mobius' scrubs. Can I take them? That made a huge noise. Is that the trunk made that noise? Mobius' glove. He doesn't seem to mind. Does he? No, he's cool. He's cool. Right, here's the brain. Talk to the brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
I've been busy.
Oh yes, I rather expect you have. You must have been swamped, you poor dear. Why don't you relax and put your feet up? I've just been traumatically scooped out of my body and plugged into this jar. That's all. But you've been busy.
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands.
All right.
Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system.
Right.
I can see how foolish your
Okay.
motives are.
Yes, that is somewhat sensible. But you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing.
Okay, he's going to take some
Look at it
talking
from my
around then.
perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
I can see your point. What can I do to make this a fair compromise?
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers!
Okay,
Second, regular checkups.
Fair enough.
Mind you, and from a reputable doctor. That Julie Farkas woman, for example.
Yes, we know
she seems
Julie.
to know a thing or two. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
I'll try. You've got a deal.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
What? Well, if you like being stuck in there so much, maybe I'll just leave you.
Oh no, please don't leave me here in this nice, safe dome where I have access to nutritive fluids and a fully indexed library.
I think we haven't quite
Please
talked him
don't
round
deprive
yet.
me of being dragged through a landscape so bleak it was actually improved by the end of the world. I don't know how I could bear it.
Oh, here we go. Look what happened to the think tank. Do you want to end up like them after a few hundred years? That might work.
It's true, the brains here have experienced some degree of deterioration. I'm confident that with a few decades of work, I can solve the problem.
Oh, a science check. Here we go. Then surely you've taken into account the corrosive effects of long-term exposure to biogel.
Of course I accounted for that! Do you think I'm so stupid? No, you're right. Maintaining my current functionality will be harder than I thought. This bears some further looking into.
What would happen to me if I left you here?
Let me see. I suppose you'd continue on much as you are now, using that synthetic thinking machine to do the heavy lifting. Unless, of course, the batteries run out. But that seems unlikely.
And if I put you back?
I'm not entirely sure. I suppose there's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us. What form that might take, though, I cannot say.
Come on, let's go. We're getting out of here.
Ugh, crawl back in there? Are you mad? I don't know where you've been. For all I know, you're riddled with disease or packing one of those delightful head wounds you seem to attract. I'm not crawling back into your head just to ooze right back out again.
Come on, brain. I promise I'll take better care of myself. Or lie. I promise I'll take better care. Let's do this one.
Even if I believe you, and I'm not saying I do, we still have one significant problem we're facing. Even if I wanted to settle myself back in your skull and go to all the trouble of reconnecting nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here.
Oh, doesn't he?
We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground.
Oh, right.
And that is assuming,
The goodies
of course,
become the
that one of
baddies.
them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Speech 75, you're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
I'll handle... let's go. I can't take him. I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head.
That arrangement suits me fine. Do try not to get too many holes drilled in your head, will you? I may want to drop by for sentimental reasons. Right then. You'd best be off, hadn't you? The think tank will be waiting. No, don't worry about me. When you're gone, I'll flush myself over to the sink. It's amazing how far you can get in this place with a good flush. I'll keep myself hidden in the ductwork. Klein won't suspect I'm inside the dome, so he won't know the pacification field no longer works on us.
Yeah.
I can also upgrade the sink's autodock with the procedures to reinstall your heart and spine, assuming you want all that flesh and gristle back. With any luck, I'll see you in the sink when this is all over.
All right, then. Confront Dr. Klein. And then I can choose whether I want my original heart and spine back. Alright. Where's the stairs going down? Oh, there's someone in here. Or is it those turrets? Yeah, I think it might be. They don't seem to be causing me problems, though. So are things going to be peaceful around here now? Now that we've talked to Dr. Mobius and made a friend. Is he going to stop attacking me with scorpions? Well, there's none right here right now. Let's fast travel. Okay, so I'm being sent in 2 different directions at once. Alright, yes, so I'm going to go into the think tank and confront Klein. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Yeah, I am. I'm saved. In we go. Oh, they're all lined up. Hey, Klein.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You know, I'm wishing I'd gone and spoken to the auto doc and got myself healed up, because this might end up in a fight. Let's go for a speech check. You think I'm the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Science 100, here we go. Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice. It is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Leave the think tank. I did it without having to fight. Hosanna. Let's go into the sink.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
Oh, I'm so
The
brilliant.
sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
Oh,
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-42 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal,
oh,
saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
oh, is that
The
a
book chute
Vault
continued
22
to devour
reference?
all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip.
Oh,
It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip,
of course.
and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
Ah, me
This
girls.
persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Oh,
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
well, yes.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty,
Oh,
punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded.
really?
So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain.
Oh dear.
This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
Messy.
The courier left the brain at the Big Empty. A strange thing to say, but it was the truth. Brains are less important than they may seem. When the courier's body finally passed, the brain was saddened. It kept on, remembering the vessel that had once contained it. Even at the end, when it started to fail, however, the brain resisted going into a floating chassis like the think tank. It never said why. Perhaps it was out of respect for the courier's body. All things must come to an end, and to hang on to the past is something that's not to be undertaken lightly.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one.
Hooray!
The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
I've acquired the transportal ponder. It's capable of transporting me and me alone between the Mojave and Wasteland and Big Mountain. Cool. Oh, hi guys. Hey. Oh, now I've got to find something to spend on. Let's pop some points into guns, some into explosives, some into melee. That'll do. Ooh. We have to choose a perk. I think I'm going to buy the Action Boy perk. 15 additional action points to use in VATS. That might come in handy. So I guess that's the end of Old World Blues. Next episode we'll be back in the Mojave Wasteland. And yeah, it's been a great experience, this little DLC. I've enjoyed it immensely. God, I wish you lot would stop talking. Chitter chatter.